Good morning, friends. Let's talk a little bit today about obedience, and obedience in particular as we train our children. And I think we can look at the amount of work that it takes to train our children to obey can be overwhelming. Our children don't naturally obey. And all my 8 kids, not a single one of them naturally obeyed. They all had to be taught and trained how to listen to my voice and respond in obedience. It, of course, took a lot of work, but I want to just refresh us in the importance of teaching our children how to obey. We had 3 bars that we tried to hold to and to train our children in order to help them for their futures. One was for our kids to obey completely, that when we asked them to do something, that they would do what we asked them, that they would not do something different or do it halfway or do what they wanted to do or do it the way they wanted to do, but they would do it the way we asked them to. So to obey completely. The next one was to obey quickly, that they would respond quickly when we asked them to do something, that they would not say maybe later or just a minute or get to it whenever they wanted to, but that they would respond to us and that they would practice obeying quickly. And then the last one is just that they would obey with a right heart, that they would obey willingly and even cheerfully and not begrudgingly or with a bad attitude or with eye rolls. So those are 3 litmus tests that we tried to keep, 3 bars that we tried to keep with our children as we raise them to obey us. You can think about the importance of obedience. Does it really matter? Does it really matter that when you tell your child to do something, that they say, for us, we even taught our kids to say yes, mom, or yes, dad, to respond to us verbally, and then to get up with a good heart and do what we ask them to do. And again, we weren't trying to exert our authority or try to make their lives miserable. We knew that this was an opportunity to equip them again for their future. So it was very important that we practice this in our daily home, in our daily life, in our home. You can think about a teenager, and as they get older and they get a job and they have a different boss, and that boss asks them to do something. Can they say no to their flesh? Can they say no to what they want to do? And can they respond every time with a willing heart? And that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of practice. I can even struggle with responding with completely, quickly, and cheerfully, and obviously our kids can. But what a good opportunity in our homes where they are safe, where they are loved, where they are valued, where mom and dad care about them to help them grow in these things. Also, I think you can see that it's valuable for their future, but I think we also want to look at God's word, and we want to remember that obedience is important to God too. This is not just something that I want because I'm the mom, and when mom says it, you have to do it. That's not the attitude I want. I want to impart to them God's heart too. And one day, they are going to be out on their own, and they are going to need to make the choice to obey God in their own life. And if I can help that, if I can nurture that relationship and that understanding and that discipline in their life for them when they are out on their own to respond to God, wow, I'm all in on that. That is my heart, is to equip my kids to have a healthy, good, right relationship with their Lord. So let's look at 3 verses. One is James 1:22. It says, "Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says." And I love that verse. We're not supposed to just go to church and listen. We're not supposed to just read the Bible and just read it for reading's sake. We are actually supposed to respond to the word. In fact, it's deceiving ourselves if we just listen and we don't practice responding and obeying to the word. Another one is in Romans 2, and it says, "For it is not those who hear the law who are righteous in God's sight, but it is those who obey the law who will be declared righteous in God's sight." Again, you're not declared righteous in just hearing it. Hearing is not where God's heart is at. Obedience is where God's heart at, because he knows that when you obey, you are expressing faith. You are expressing a relationship and trusting God to respond to his word. And how beautiful. He knows that will bring such good to your life. Just as We as parents know that when they obey us, even in those little things, that we are setting them up, that it will bring good to their life, that it will bless their future. And then the last one I want to look at is John 14:21. It says, whoever has my commands and obeys them, he is the one who loves me. It's an expression of our faith. It's an expression of our love to obey what we read in the scriptures. So we need to do that ourselves. We need to train our kids. Let me just encourage you with one thing. Today, as you're starting out your day, you can think, what do I want to obey God in specifically today? What's a specific step of obedience that I could do in my life today, knowing that that will bring good and that will bring a blessing? And then as you go into your motherhood, that you would remember you are blessing your child. You are helping them. You are bringing them something amazing in their life, to give them a bar of obedience, to call them to obedience, and to train them to respond that way in order for them to thrive in this life. I hope that is encouraging to you. You have a great day, and I'll see you next time.